Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I'm Jessie. I post new videos here on my channel, Jwhackers, every single week. Videos include budget videos, plan with me videos, day in the life vlog style videos, grocery hauls, meal planning, lots of lifestyle / homemaker type videos. So if you are interested in that sort of video, make sure you click the subscribe button because there's new content coming at you every single week. So in today's video, we are going to be going over my budget for the 4th paycheck, so week 4 in June. I cannot believe that we are already to June 23rd. Can you guys? This month has gone by so fast. And we are going to budget my husband's 4th paycheck for the month as well as my YouTube income. I received my YouTube paycheck this week as well, so that'll get added in to our total. I don't talk about our income total, but I do like to talk to you guys about the source of the income. So my husband is in the plumbing industry. He works based on commission, so he gets paid every single week on Tuesdays, but it's not a consistent amount every single week. It fluctuates. So the way that I do things in order to make sure that all of our bills and expenses are covered is I round our bills and expenses up a little bit and I round our estimated income down. That way we always come out with a little bit left over, but I also roll over anything left over week to week. That way if we have a week that is a little bit shorter, maybe my husband doesn't work for one day or there's just not a lot of business happening that week, we're covered either way. We definitely don't want to ever come up making less money that we need for the week. We also have some savings. We have an emergency fund, so that's the way that I do it. I budget using the Budget by Paycheck Workbook from The Budget Mom. I love this. It's a phenomenal resource. I have the printable version. You can buy it bound and have it shipped to your house, but I like printing out the pages that I need and leaving out the pages I don't. Plus, I really like this disc-bound binding system. So I think that covers all of my basic kind of introductory things. So if you are interested in checking out my budget overview for the week of June 23rd, just keep on watching. Alright, so I have zoomed you guys way in so that you can see what we're working with here. So the very first category that is listed here in my Budget by Paycheck Workbook is bills. I don't put just bills here. I put bills and expenses that are being paid through my checking account or with my debit card. So everything that is going out through our bank account gets dropped into this bills category. That includes our weekly expenses, like groceries. So, for groceries, I always budget $150. Sometimes I budget more than that if we have something going on, like a big event or a holiday or whatever, but for a typical week, I budget $150. That is for my family of 4. It's myself, my husband, and our 2 boys who are 17 and 12, so big eaters. We live in Southeast Michigan, so regionally that's where I'm at. That helps you kind of know the cost of living, I guess, if you're in this area. That's what I budget for groceries. You may budget more, you may budget less, whatever works for you. I try to keep it right at $150. Next up, we have miscellaneous. So miscellaneous budget covers anything else, anything that's not in my budget, anything that I don't have a sinking fund for, or anything that I forgot to account for. There's always something. Every single week, something comes up that I don't have money set aside for. And the goal with this budget is to make sure that I'm covered in all possible areas so that I don't have to swipe a credit card. My husband and I do have consumer debt. We are actively trying to pay it off. We do use some credit cards and pay them off right away so that we can reap the rewards of that. But we do have some cards that carry a balance, and our ultimate goal is to pay all of those off. So if I'm constantly forgetting things in my budget, then those things are going to have to get covered by a credit card, and that's the last thing that I want. So I put in a little bit of a buffer with our miscellaneous line item, and I budget $50 for that. Next up, we have household. I budget $30 for household, and this money actually goes right to our Amazon credit card where we have all of our Amazon subscribe and save items set up. I call it household because those items are all sort of household things like toilet paper, cleaning supplies, that sort of thing. So that's $30 for that. Next up, I have my spending money. I have decided moving forward I'm going to keep my spending money in the bank rather than taking it out in cash because primarily most of my spending happens online, and it's a pain to pull the money out of the bank and then have to turn around and redeposit it to cover the purchase I made with my credit card or my debit card, so I'm just going to leave it in the bank. I always budget $40 for that. Next, we come up on our bills for the week. So I take a look at my Erin Condren monthly planner where I have all of our transactions for the week and all of our bills in here. So we're working with the 4th week in the month. So bills are in this kind of pretty blue color. I do like a color coding system to keep track of everything. And so I just look at the bills that are due between this payday and the next payday, which are DTE and Michigan Gas, and I also have some debt payments to make. So all of these things then get moved over to my paycheck bill tracker here, and that's how I figure out what gets paid for the week. So like I said, DTE, this is our electric provider. We are on a budget plan with DTE as well as Michigan Gas, and that just means that rather than having a bill that comes in every month based on our usage and it fluctuates, they take an average. They add up all of our usage for a year and divide it by 12, and that's how much we pay every single month. It makes it really easy to anticipate how much our bill is going to be. If your provider offers something like that, I highly recommend that you look into it because it's awesome. It means that I don't have a super high DTE bill during the summer when we're running our air conditioner, and then super low in the winter when we're running our heat. So it just kind of makes everything nice and even. So we pay $175 for DTE a month. That is right on the money. That I don't bother rounding that up because I know that's exactly what it's going to be. And then for Michigan Gas, it's $40 a month. So that is what I've budgeted for those. Next up, I have a few credit cards. We are using the debt snowball method. So we have listed out all of our consumer debt accounts by amount from lowest to greatest. And we work on the lowest one first, and we chip away at it a little bit at a time until it's paid off. And the rest of our cards get just the minimum payment. So I have my Discover card, my Walmart card, and my Lowe's card. All of those are just getting minimum payments. So I have estimated that our Discover card will be a minimum payment of $50, Walmart $110, Lowe's $110. I don't know if those are exactly accurate. I try to round up, that way I know that we're covered either way. Hopefully they don't come in more than that, we'll see. I always film a budget results video once I've completed my week to show you guys actual totals so you can see whether I'm over or under budget. So like I said, subscribe so that you don't miss that video if you're interested in seeing the outcome of this budget. So that is it for our bills category. When I added everything up, it came out to be $755. Sometimes I write out this budget with you guys here on camera. More often though, I go ahead and write it up ahead of time. That way I'm not struggling with math and making mistakes because I'm worried about the camera location or whatever. So if you're interested in seeing me kind of write it out as I go and figure things out, let me know. I can do that for a future video, but for now, bill total is $755. That takes us to our next category, which is envelopes. So we do some of our spending in cash. These are the categories that we either overspend in a lot or that it's just more convenient to have cash. So our cash categories are Eric's spending, he's my husband, obviously. He gets $40 a week for his spending money. This is essentially allowance. I get $40 as well. It's for any personal spending. If we want to pick up a cup of coffee while we're out and about. He's a smoker, so his cigarette money is in there. I wish he would quit, but I can't force him, so instead I just make sure that he sticks to a budget with that so that he's not, you know, overdoing it and putting us into further debt with that habit. But, you know, he's out and about at work, and rather than him having to swipe a debit card and me having to try to keep track of what he's spending that way, it's easier just to give him the cash and let him spend, and then when it's gone, he's done spending for the week until his next paycheck. He and I sat down and agreed on $40 a week for each of us with our spending, by the way. That's not like me trying to mother him and telling him that he can only spend $40. That was actually the amount that he decided he needed. So that's $40, and then we have eating out. A lot of you might think, okay, so you're trying to pay off debt. Why are you eating out? Well, it's because we like to enjoy our lives. We really want to pay off debt, but we don't want to sacrifice, you know, being able to go out for a nice dinner or, you know, having a fun pizza night with our family. We are not, as Dave Ramsey says, gazelle intense. We are more Dave-ish, I guess. I don't really agree with all of Dave Ramsey's budgeting principles. I know that he's like this huge financial guru that a lot of people really follow to the letter. We took some of his principles. We do follow his baby steps loosely, but we're not trying to cut it down to nothing and be miserable for a year while we pay off our debt. We'd rather let it take a little bit longer, and that's just how we've decided to do it. Whenever I film these videos, I always say, personal finance is personal. You do what works for you. That's what works for us. So we've budgeted $50 for eating out for the week, and then for gasoline, we drive a gas guzzling truck, so we budget $50 a week for gas. And all of that will come out in cash. You guys will see my cash envelope stuffing video on Wednesday. I've decided that I'm going to keep everything split up into separate videos because last week when I did that, it was so much easier on me. That's what made the decision final. I asked you guys, do you want to see it in one video or would you rather see it in two separate videos? A couple of you commented and said one video, a couple of you commented and said two videos. It was pretty split down the middle, so I just made the decision. I'm going to split it up. So you guys will see my cash envelope stuffing and my sinking fund stuffing in my next budget video, which hopefully will be up on Wednesday. Alright, so my envelope total is $140. That takes us to sinking funds. If you're not familiar with sinking funds are little mini savings goals that you set for yourself for expenses that you know are coming. You may not know when, maybe you do know when, but these are the kind of irregular expenses. They don't happen every single month necessarily, but you want to be covered when they do come up. So for example, Christmas. I always use Christmas as an example because it's easy. You know Christmas comes every year on December 25th. You know you're going to spend money on it if you celebrate Christmas, I guess. So why not save a little bit throughout the year so that when Christmas rolls around and it's time to buy gifts and decorations and fancy meals and stuff, you have that money set aside so you're not having to swipe a credit card. In years past, we've done Christmas on credit and it's no fun at all. So we're saving a little bit throughout the year for that. We also save for these other things. So our sinking funds that we're funding this week are our campground. We have a camper that sits on an annual campsite. We pay an annual fee once a year, so we're saving for that so that we don't have to drop a huge amount of money out of our budget that week. Instead, we take a little bit throughout the year and then we have it. So we're going to put $50 aside for that. Same with car tags and maintenance. You know that inevitably your car is going to need to be maintained somehow, whether it be an oil change, a new tire, a spark plug, new windshield wipers, whatever it is. And you know you have to register your car with the government every year and you have to renew your tags. So we just save for that throughout the year a little bit at a time so it's not a huge inconvenience when that rolls around. $25 getting set aside for that. $25 for Christmas. $25 for home maintenance. That'll cover anything from furnace filters to paint or anything that we need for around the house. Pets. I have two adorable little kitty cats. And so their food and their cat litter gets put into our typical like grocery or household budget. This envelope for pets is more for like vet visits, immunizations, that sort of thing. So we just save a little bit of money up. That way if our kitty cats get sick, then we're covered. And the last of the sinking funds this week is YouTube. So I make a little bit of income from my videos here on YouTube. The ads that you guys see playing before my videos or in the middle of them creates a little bit of ad revenue. And provided that you reach a $100 threshold, then they pay out on the 21st of each month. So I received a paycheck from YouTube this month. It was for like $230. It's not a huge income. It's definitely not keeping my family fed by any means, but it's a little bit of income, and I absolutely love sharing here on YouTube, so it's a win-win. They don't, however, take out taxes, so that's something that I need to do on my own. So whenever I receive a YouTube paycheck, I always take 30% off the top for taxes. I put it away in a sinking fund. That way when it comes time for us to file our taxes, I have that money so that it's not a big deal if we owe. So that's that. I put away $70 this week for YouTube. And that brings our sinking funds to a total of $220 for this week. Next up, we have our extra debt. So like I said at the beginning of this video, we are using the debt snowball method. We are currently working on a Lowe's credit card, and so our debt snowball is $128. That is the accumulation of all of the minimum payments of the cards that we've paid off so far. We pay $128 a week towards our lowest card. Right now that's a Lowe's card, so that is going to go towards that, and so that makes our debt total $128. I always forget to fill that in. And lastly, we have Savopoly. Savopoly is a fun savings challenge printable that I found on mothermeandI.com. I showed more about Savopoly in my June budget setup video, so if you want to check that out, I will link it above and down below. You can see more about what Savopoly is. I'll have the printable link down below as well if you want to follow along with that. It's just an extra bit of savings. While my sinking funds here have savings goals, so I have either a certain amount that I want to spend or the category itself is what I'm saving for, Savopoly is just extra savings. It can be used for whatever I want. It can be used whenever I want, just for a little bit of extra. And it's more fun doing the printable and having that decide how much money I save every week than just arbitrarily saving 20 bucks a week or whatever. So I use Savopoly because it makes it fun. Budgeting in general can be tedious. Anything you can do to make it more fun, I highly recommend. So that means our savings total is $19. So that's it. That is a look at where all of my money is going to go this week. Hopefully I can stick to my budget. The next thing I need to do is figure out how much cash I need to pull out of the bank so that I can then film my cash envelope stuffing video. So this is the paycheck bill tracker page from the Budget by Paycheck Workbook. I use this page, but the other page that I use is the cash envelope breakdown. This makes it super easy to figure out how much cash I need to pull out for each category. So I'm going to open this up and I'm going to reference my paycheck bill tracker, and we're going to fill out this cash envelope breakdown. So I need to figure out which of my categories I need to pull in cash. For me, that's my envelopes, my sinking funds, and my extra savings. So I'm going to write down all of the line items in those categories and their amounts, and then we're going to use the cash breakdown. So Eric gets cash, eating out, gasoline, campground, car tags and maintenance, pets, YouTube, and Savopoly. So for Eric's spending, it's $40, and he likes his cash pulled out in 20s, so he's gonna get 2 20s. Eating out is $50, and we just take a $50 bill for that. Same with gasoline, $50 bill for that. Campground is also the same, a $50 bill for that. Car tags and maintenance gets 25, so we need a 20 and a 5. Pets also gets 25, 20 and a 5. Oh, I skipped a category. See, this is why it's good to double check everything. I'm just going to stick it down here. I forgot about home maintenance, so we'll stick it down here. YouTube is $70, so we are going to want a 50 and a 20. Savopoly is 19, so that is a 10, a 5, and 4 ones. And home maintenance is 25, and that is a 20 and a 5. So then I just go through and I count everything up. So there's 4 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4 5s, 1 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 20s, 1, 2, 3, 4 50s, and no hundreds. So 4 ones is $4, 4 5s is $20, 1 10 is $10, 6 20s is $120, and 4 50s is $200. And then I just go in and I total everything up using my trusty calculator here. So 4 plus 20 plus 10 plus 120 plus 200 is $354. So I need $354 from the bank. I then transfer this information to this little cash withdrawal slip. It's from the Budget Mom. It's on sticky notes here, post-it notes. I just transfer that information. So we need 4 ones, 4 5s, 1 10, 6 20s, 4 50s, $4, $20, $10, $120, and $200 for a what did I say the total was? $354. So this then I will give to my husband. He works right down the road from the bank. So he will take this to the bank. He'll hand it directly to the bank teller. She will give me the denominations and the cash that I need, and then I will have the cash for the cash envelope stuffing video, which you guys will see here on my channel, like I said, on Wednesday. So that is it, you guys. That is a look at my budget breakdown for the 4th paycheck in the month of June. If you guys liked this video and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe, give this video a thumbs up so that I know that you are liking what I'm bringing to you. Leave me a comment down below. I love chatting with you guys in the comments. Let me know how you guys are doing with your budgeting in June so far. Are you on track? Are you over or under budget? I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!